Welcome to the Valt Podcast. We are your car culture cultivators, and I'm Robert. As usual, we've got...
Joe, how's it going, everybody?
Hi, Joe. Hi, Robert.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
You will notice that Shaun and VJ are not here today.
We're different looking today.
They're
A little
very
bit.
different looking today.
Hi,
yes.
I'm Shaun.
VJ cut his hair
Yeah.
and dyed it blonde.
Still has a beat in Cayman, though.
Still has a beat in the Cayman. Actually,
Oh,
that's
hey.
true. This is VJ.
Whoa.
Yeah, basically. I just don't have any baguettes
It's
yet.
a short-haired VJ.
The Vij.
So long-term listeners or viewers will know both of these guys.
Oh, boy. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately or fortunately. Maybe unfortunately.
I don't know. Should we do the intro?
Yeah, you
Should
guys
I be
want
like,
to introduce yourselves? Say
hello,
who you are?
hello, friends. My name is Frank Harrington. I have been here a time or two. And I take pictures of cars. I work over at Cars and Bids now, so that's a thing. And I have a dumb podcast myself called Another Pointless Automotive Podcast. That's what I'm up to. How about you, VJ?
I'm VJ, aka Jake Bauer. Been on here a couple times, of course. Work at Porsche Marin, own tiny car, and yeah, that's about it.
So, Joe, what do we got for today?
All right, so shameless plug time. If you're watching this, that means you're watching it on YouTube. If you don't know how to get to YouTube, I don't know how you got here, but I'm going to show you how to do it. You type in the YouTube. It's a red square with a triangle in it that
What's
points
YouTube?
this way. It's an arrow, actually.
Oh, wow.
And type in Vault Podcast, click subscribe, and now you're here. Congratulations. It's a good podcast.
As
We
an
do it every
update
week.
while we're on this, though, we are cross-posting this to our other channel as well.
Ooh, is it on OnlyFans?
Yes.
Yes, for
OnlyFans.
$299, we get see our feet.
Yes.
Nice.
We take our feet or take our shoes off for the podcast.
Feet
So you might
reveal
be
at
watching
1,000
this
subs.
on one of either one of the
Yeah.
YouTubes. And if you're
Yeah.
only listening to it,
That's fine.
which one should we send them to? Vault Auto? If you go to at Vault Auto on YouTube or at Vault Podcast on YouTube, that's Vault V-A-L-T with no U. You will find our podcast. We are only moving it over to the other
Oh, hey, there's my
channel,
car.
Hey.
to see how it
The beat goes
performs
on.
there. And yeah, so if you're listening to this and you typically watch it on the Vault Podcast channel, we might be moving it over to the Vault Auto channel. I'm not sure, Joe. Is that confirmed yet? Or are we still
Possibly. I'm still cross-posting. We're testing things out, seeing which one sticks.
Yep.
We're gonna make sure that the most people get to see this as possible because it's fun, and I think other people would like it.
Yeah.
But the second shameless plug is our membership platform. To get to our membership platform, you just type in vaultautoclub.com, click on the member tab, and it gives you a whole bunch of benefits and perks, different events, private events, drives, weekend outings, you name it, we do basically everything. Yeah, so join the membership. It's really fun. It's a huge blast. Bunch of
good time.
perks. It's a good time.
It is a good time. And what's even most people don't realize, when you say perks, you mean Percocets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So allegedly, we have a great time
Allegedly.
at our Vault member gatherings that are just for
Allegedly.
members.
for perks.
But yeah, that's it. Hope to see you guys at one of our events coming up. And speaking of that, Sundays on Solano is coming up. That's a public event. That's a tried and true Cars and Coffee that happens every third Sunday of each month, no matter if it's rain, snowing, or earthquaking or anything.
Yeah, we did have the famous earthquake cars and coffee.
And it's a good time. I hope to see you guys there. And then secondly, for Vault News, keeping it short and sweet this week, Cars and Culture number 2 is going to be announced soon. The last one was at Napa Vault. This one will also be at Napa Vault for those who are interested.
And that's their vault has a U in it, right?
Their
yes,
vault does have a U.
their
in it,
vault is
Wow.
spelled correctly.
and it is its own entity. The IRS should keep in mind that we
Suck
are not
Uncle
affiliated
Sam.
with Napa Vault, and we do not make any of the proceeds that go to Napa Vault.
Exactly.
Allegedly. Like the perks.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hope to see you at that. Also, more announcements coming soon. We're making some posters and fun times ahead. So that is it for the news. We were talking about this before the podcast, but speaking of car news, there is nothing interesting happening in the world today.
Boring.
So do your own research. It's
We
boring
do
out there
question
this
of the
week.
day instead.
Yeah.
Excuse
We
me,
gotta
I've
do
done
that?
my own research.
So that brings us into the question of the day.
Ooh.
What is the best luxury car of all time, period? And the only stipulation that you have for this is that a consumer can or could purchase this at some point. So it can't be like a Sultan's car that doesn't
Yeah, yeah.
exist. Yeah.
Sure.
So who wants to go
My
first?
clapped E30.
Kind of. I mean, the best pure unadulterated luxury vehicle I've ever spent time in was a Rolls Phantom 8. This particular one, I think it was, I believe it was a 2018.
Is it 8?
I think it was an 18. Just absolutely comical how obscene
Yeah.
that car was. And it was, see the orange interior there? It had the
Same-
orange
same.
interior.
Ooh.
It
Yeah.
was just like that, a silver with a gray two-tone orange interior, that pumpkin orange interior. I think the original sticker on it was like 385, 420, something like that.
Yeah.
Just absolutely batshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not choose a Phantom.
Yeah.
You know, this question makes me very sad that I don't have more like seat time with luxury marks prior to like 2000. Because there's a
Sure,
lot of
yeah.
stuff, and even pre-war, you know, like Duesenbergs
Right,
and Rolls
grocers
Royces
and
of
stuff,
the
which was
era,
post-war, but yeah.
and like there's probably just like so much opulence in some of those roaring 20s cars and early
yeah.
mid 30s cars that are just like so just
Yeah, you just like
ungodly nice.
have
like,
an enormous amount of like laudanum and then like
yeah,
just
yeah,
drive.
you're just like you're a steel magnet. It's
Yeah.
imagine like what like a 320-pound steel man from Pennsylvania would have
Sure.
thought, you know, and that's probably insane.
Yeah.
I wish I had more like seat time.
You have
with
like
those kind of things.
people leather interior and
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
crazy insane shit that's just like
Yeah.
you know, it,
So I feel
it runs on
like-
bunker oil or something and it's
Yeah.
just
I wish I had like the comparative feel for like what a 21st century Rolls Royce is like versus like a late 20th century and a mid 20th century, because the Dawn that we sold, there was that car was like, you know, 2019 Rolls Royce Dawn, and it was in, almost every touch point was just absurd. The carpets were like this fucking thick, and it was just so nice. But then there were little things that felt very like 21st late our time, like
Sure.
cheap door handle that shook a little bit that just did not seem right to me. And I really would love to experience like an earlier Phantom or something like that and see how
Yeah.
much those little things change.
yeah, this Phantom this Phantom made the
I have a feeling that was probably a significantly nicer.
pretty absurd.
Fit and
Like
finish.
every single touch point was like,
Perfect.
oh, this is not just like metal. This is like heavy metal.
This is
It's
like thick steel.
Yeah, it's
the
like,
touch
why did
point,
they-
The temperature at which you touch it was like engineered to be specific.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, just and it had, you know, it had the skylight, not the skylight, what do they call the Starfield roof,
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
and all the things. I mean, it was pretty bonkers. The exact opposite, the real world answer for me, a beater Lexus.
You kind of stole exactly what I was gonna say.
So my newest
least
daily, and you
luxurious
can
car
run
of all
off to.
time, you mean?
Well, check this out. So my newest
Real
daily
world
that I
example.
have
Oh, real world. I see. Okay.
is I picked up a 2012 Lexus CT200H, clear coat
Oh
blown
yeah,
off
the one
of it.
you had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get 40-something miles a gallon.
Significant other
I-
with one of those in college, and I was astonished by it.
dude, it runs perfect.
Yeah.
It's got that caramel new luxe interior.
Uh-huh.
Heated seats, all the things. It's got 169,000 miles on it.
And it cost you $73.
I paid
to buy.
$5,000 for it.
That's a great
The
buy.
head gasket, and Pilot Sport all seasons were done on it like 1,000 miles before I got it.
What?
At the dealership.
And it was
What?
$5,000.
Because there's no paint on it. It's
Yeah,
ugly as
yeah,
sin.
yeah.
Who cares?
I
That's
don't
a good
care.
point.
It's having a nice,
I think
reliable
it's like
beater.
43 miles per gallon.
Yeah,
It's a hybrid, right?
yeah,
It's a hybrid?
yeah. It's third gen Prius guts.
Yeah.
Having a very comfortable, reliable beater is the ultimate luxury.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a very.
oops,
very
someone
cool.
backed into it. I could not care
cares?
less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to dry. I haven't washed it in 5 weeks. You know what a luxury that is to just like not give a rip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wax poetic about that. Maybe you said
Yeah,
I stole
I
some
was
of your
gonna say.
thunder.
I was just gonna say something like any
rental
Toyota.
car.
Oh, because it will just work. Unlike
That's a great-
lot of
And
my
that's like
cars.
the ultimate. It's like luxury being defined by the use case.
Yeah.
Or the
Sure.
individual. You know,
Yeah.
like luxury for some people is
It working.
17-inch thick carpets, and luxury for some people is getting in and
It
driving
starts
somewhere,
every
you know?
single time. Yeah.
Well, like my motto for the cars I experienced so far is shit boxes and sports cars.
Yeah.
So luxury cars is an area I haven't touched yet.
Yeah, that's
So-
like my Volvo. When I bought this car, I think like 99% of the reason I like it so much is like every other car I've ever owned was horrible. and this car's just like remotely okay,
Yep.
which just makes it feel like it's like new.
What?
Right.
And
There's
the
actual
I
soft
really
touch
feel this.
points in the car, and you're like, whoa.
the leather's nice.
And like it turns on, and like nothing ever breaks really until
The air
some-
conditioning
bolts.
doesn't like randomly like shoot water at you
Yeah,
because of how much vapor is in the air. Yeah, no, that we'll touch on some of those things in my project updates. But for me, what I was what were you to say? Sorry.
Oh no, I just didn't. I think I have my answer, but do yours first.
Yeah,
I
well,
just hope you don't steal mine.
My ultimate luxury. Hopefully, I
can
don't
guess
steal.
this. I think I can guess it.
I would say it's a My Box
Yeah, I knew
62.
he was gonna say something.
Okay.
That was not mine. But
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this on the way over, and
you
I
actually
think,
got to experience living with one,
I
or a 57.
yeah, a 57, which is the short wheelbase version, but like the 62. I've seen them and they just like demand like a presence and they just make you feel bad if you see them on the road and you're not. And I think that's what
I'm
luxury
really
is.
into cars that maybe, self-loathe.
Yeah, it's supposed to make the person inside feel comfortable and the people outside feel like they're nothing.
Like they should just like find an outlet and put a fork in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with the old cars that you were talking about, like the 20s and 30s
Like there's
cars,
no hope.
no hope. And
That's what they were designed to do.
yeah,
That's what
and
those cars were designed to drive past starving, begging people in the Depression, and convince them that they're not worth.
yeah, and think about the
alive.
cars. Think about
Right.
the cars that have the drivers
proletariat.
out,
Yeah, yeah,
on the
yeah,
open,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like that's exactly
Yeah.
what I think
Yeah.
of my block. That's all it's about. It's like
You don't even get a roof.
yeah, the driver just doesn't matter at
Let
all.
him
It's just the
cook.
people who own the car. But,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's my choice, and I think my practical choice, and this is super obvious, but any W140
Yeah.
is going to be
Yeah.
probably one of the most insulated experiences you'll have for like $3,000,
Dude.
Period.
Yeah.
Even my 300
500
SD.
coupe, like a W140 500 coupe.
I would love to find a coupe.
They're
You can't
so
find
good.
coupes anymore, but
yeah, you can't, but damn it, they're cool
Yeah,
for like not a lot of money. And then something breaks and then it costs you all your money.
exactly. Yeah, so you got to find one that's good. Robert, do you have your ultimate luxury car?
Yes, you reminded me I have to put another marketplace find on. Pullman
Oh, is
my answer.
yeah, that's good. That's a great answer.
I got to do a Pullman because it's got the same kind of like, you only really owned a Pullman if you were like a Quaalude
A dictator.
addicted
Yeah.
celebrity, or you killed 17. You're Idi Amin,
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
they,
There is one for sale right now.
they are just still like if you
I'm
shit
I'm
that-
such a
the shit
two-tone
that the
truther.
Pullman had was like 50 years
Oh, dude.
ahead of standard luxury equipment.
The
TV
actual
you could get a TV in that fucking car. like,
Yeah.
in the 60s.
Insane.
Yeah, that's like the actual cool version to own. Is 300 SEL,
Yeah,
the OG, the 6.3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really, really cool.
Those aren't too expensive, right? The 6.3s, like the short wheelbase ones.
They're
No,
not
they're not as
insane expensive,
There isn't,
but
like,
like there's
the
a
one
lot
that-
of stuff on it
you
that
can
like
get
all
them
the air
for-
suspension is insanely
I
hard
think
to
you
keep
can get 'em
alive.
for like 70 if they're shitty, but then you have
I think you can get it for less.
like $100,000 on air suspension.
If you a clapped one is like probably 30 grand, right? Like one that's like needs everything.
Yeah, but it's like 200,000.
You don't want that. Yeah, you don't want
Maintenance.
that. But I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure I have some friends. that have
eBay
them.
coilovers.
Wait,
Okay.
6.3. We're
it's
not talking about
300
We're not talking about
SEL.
Pullmans. Yeah, we're not talking about Pullmans.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the short wheelbase Pullman.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
talk
not.
about undervalued.
This is not a luxury car. Anyway,
Those are
yes.
cool though.
Yeah.
Cosworth Vega, baby.
Great choices. I think.
They also just have that like thick carpet seats that are sprung and move on hydraulics
Thick
faster
with-
than
thick
any
with
other
two
seat you've
Cs?
ever- Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure.
Yeah.
Thick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is
So,
a.
yeah, I think I go with Pullman. I just after that we visited that collector in Italy that had one. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
This thing is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, all these cars are next level. And comment down below what your ideal luxury car, money no object, era no object. What would you be driving to make yourself feel perfect and everyone else around you feel worthless?
I want to know what like the pre 1900 mega luxury
It rained.
maybe like a Duesenberg or
like
something, right?
quilted leather that like comes this far off the ceiling, and you have like your snuff box container and like your champagne.
Yeah, no, you've got your blood boy riding shotgun.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have? Like you've got there. What is it? There's what? So like, what was the original Bugattis? I mean, obviously there's a
Yeah,
huge
like-
sporting history
like an
there
Atlantique
before it
or
became.
something.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. that'd be-
57.
Yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say a Type 57 or a Type. Yeah, that.
Imagine just like dailying that shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're Ralph Lauren, maybe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay,
I'm
we
into
should
it.
move on to the next segment.
Yeah, as this loads. But
$275 million billion.
yeah.
$1 million.
So those are great. Comment down below what your ultimate luxury car is and what your practical one is too while we're at it, because I'm curious. So that brings us into project updates. So for me, there's nothing happening. Everything is good.
The wagon's not leaking anymore?
No, it's still leaking.
Okay.
I just haven't driven it yet. So yeah, I mean, nothing to report really. The wagon's still leaking. Actually, it's leaking a lot.
Oh, sick.
I was looking at it today as I was detailing a car, and I noticed not a huge puddle, but like
sizable
still like
puddle.
about this much oil, like like a fist size.
So it's engine
Sick.
oil?
It's a transmission.
Extra
So
fun.
the car allegedly has had a transmission rebuilt at some point. It has 220 something thousand miles.
Well, rebuilt by who?
Exactly. So it's leaking. So it obviously nothing. I mean, whoever rebuilt the transmission didn't replace the seal. So I think it's original.
Yeah.
I think the seal is original. So I've had this looked at before. It just somebody just needs to drop the transmission and we're just going to replace the seal.
What if it was rebuilt by seal? You know, like Kiss from a Rose on the Grave? You know, could have been.
He's really thinking.
Yeah. So that's like the only real problem that I'm facing right now. The diesel is actually not leaking anything, which is great. It's underpowered, and I think I have a boost leak.
By design.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Because when
I mean, that was terribly slow.
yeah, and Spencer's, I had Spencer look at the car, and I'm like, there's no way this should be like this. And
Yeah.
and it whistles like crazy when you floor it. And there was a video in a previous episode of it, so you'll see it. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I need to fix that because it's other than that, it's good. And the E28 still needs. I have like tune-up parts. I just haven't touched it yet.
You need to
So
tune it up.
That's the easy part. You order the parts,
yeah,
and it buys
like,
you some
yes.
time.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
the parts show up, and you're like, oh, I got to open that box. And it becomes somehow that's where the labor
And
starts.
all of a sudden you're
Opening the
retired
box.
and you have grandchildren. And
yep. All the
I
parts are in my
Exactly,
backseat.
yeah. So cue the GIF of from Saving Private Ryan where he like ages in front of your face. Yeah.
I've had parts under my bed for 4 years for my golf.
Oh, there you go.
No,
Nice.
3 years. 3 years.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, like the cars are okay. I mean, they're all drivable, and you know, if I drive the Mercedes, the wagon for more than a day, it seals back up, so it's fine. But it needs to get fixed. That's like a thing in the summer that'll happen. And then tomorrow I'm looking at a 2024 Corolla hatchback to use
Real
as like
luxury car.
a business lease for
That's my
detailing.
man.
That's
I'm
why
so
we were
proud
talking
of
about.
him.
Yep.
That's the ultimate luxury in my
He's buying
opinion.
a Corolla for business. This is like this.
You know what?
This is like the
Are you
first
going to
step.
go like XSE with a manual?
Dude,
Because you
this-
can get those with a manual.
The only one that's available in the entire area that isn't a GR is the base of the base, like
Sick.
white
Poverty
with
spec.
black cloth.
That
That's
is
it. I mean, but
perfect.
the thing is, like for I
That
was
was a perfect fleet vehicle.
I was
Yeah.
talking to
Is
Sean.
it cloth?
Yeah.
This
I
is
was talking to
perfect
Sean
fleet
about
vehicle.
this.
Don't buy a Polestar,
Because
get
at the
that.
same dealership, there's a red GR Corolla, and then there's this LE or whatever the hell it's
Yeah.
called. And I'm like, I want the GR so badly, but I'm trying to be an adult
Dude,
here.
it was like what I was saying last
Yeah.
week with the question about the investor thing. That's like the investor will come and he'll get in a base cloth Corolla,
And also
and he'll be
it's
like, "This
extreme-
is somebody I want to invest."
And also,
in, you know?
it's extreme luxury because I've been when I do mobile details,
Yeah.
I take the 300 SD always,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
love
yeah.
the car to death, and I will never sell it. I really love the car.
Yeah.
But there are moments in traffic, like I was talking about with the AC, that the AC compressor will just stop working and then shoot water vapor into and everything will steam up. All my skin will get all wet, and then it won't turn back on until I floor it and it gets to 2,000 RPM, and I'm in traffic, so it's over. Until my
purging.
whole yeah, it's purging. It's horrible. But so this car is going to be an ultimate luxury, and it's hopefully going to be under $300 a month. So we'll see. I'll look at it
us.
tomorrow and see how it goes.
Well,
Exciting.
Germans are famous for quality air conditioning.
Yeah,
That's that's how that works.
yeah.
I suppose that's me then. yeah?
Yes.
Speaking of German automobiles, so because I am a fool, own 2 Porsche 924s. I've got a green NA 82 manual,
Yes.
and I've got a white 924 turbo. The 924 turbo is a 924 turbo, so it never works.
Even
Yeah.
new.
Ever.
Yeah.
Every time I drive, and I took
cool,
it. I took it out to Golden Gate for one of the Vault shows a
Yeah.
year plus ago.
I know, I
That was the
astonished.
farthest. That was the farthest I've ever driven it.
Astonished that car
Made it.
made it.
Yes.
And
It's always fun to
got
see him though.
home.
It's always fun to see that one.
It's really
Yeah.
like it is so much more cool than the green car. The
When
green
it
car
works.
works.
So much more of a car.
Everything works.
That one's a paperweight.
That one is a paperweight.
This one's a car.
So that said, I own too many cars.
Uh-huh.
So I need to sell said cars.
I think every time I talk to you in person, this is a
yes,
conversation.
Yeah.
because more show up in my lap.
Yeah.
Do you know I now own
I
an
just
8E.
showed up at home and there's more cars. I don't
That's
know
what
how
happens.
they got here.
Yeah, it's like
If you ever need to offload them, I'm happy to. I want to get back into the buying random cars.
I want to get back into
My
like,
life-
just driving other people's cars.
my
for
life
them.
is a picnic. My life is a picnic, and shit boxes are the ants.
Yeah.
Just
Sounds
coming
like
to my
a Drake
picnic.
line, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Drake line.
That's
right?
bad.
Yeah, it sounds like a Drake line.
So I
You
need to
gotta
get
label. You gotta put Drake's name in this so we get a bunch of views.
At Drake.
Yeah.
Part of your new diss track.
My life is a picnic and ants are the shitbox.
and y'all are my ants. Green 924. So the green 924, because it worked. Here's the thing: it's the easiest one for me to justify keeping, because it's not worth anything. It's an NA early 924. It's a prior repaint and color change, and it has a salvage title. Everything works on it.
That's
Air
perfect.
conditioning blows cold.
Whoa.
Just keep
Like
it forever.
everything works. The problem is the moment one of those anythings no longer works,
Yeah,
it
you're fucked.
it totals the car.
Yeah.
Because
What
it's still a
has already
Porsche.
been
Like
totaled?
it is. It like retotals the car. Like oh no, I need to. Oh boy, I need to do a clutch. It's a clutch on a 924. So it's like
Yeah,
it's either I do it, which I don't have the time to do it, or it costs me $2,800, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
near the value of the car.
Right.
So I'm prepping that one up to get it sold. I'm just letting it rip, no reserve on
Good.
cars and bids.
Yeah, yeah. That's the way to do it.
$17.
But it
honestly-
smogs and does all the things it needs to
Oh,
do.
it
and
smogs
that.
beautifully. I've got brand new
for what?
Vredestein Sprints on it.
A couple grand, that's a great buy.
It'll probably
If somebody's a- if
go
some-
between 4 and 5.
If
Is my
somebody's
prediction.
if somebody like works in a shop,
Yeah.
like the ideal buyer for that car is somebody that like owns a small
Yeah,
shop.
it's crystal green metallic.
can do everything they want.
It's like a good color. It's an absolute sweetheart of a little car. I can't justify keeping it. So that one's gonna go. The turbo might be cooked on it. I don't
sick.
know.
You should let it keep cooking
Well, here's the
until the
thing.
whole engine's cooked.
Trust me, it's super cool when it broke.
Well, it basically, I think
Make sure it's insured really good.
it's got like this weird like poppet valve thing that then actuates the wastegate. It's basically recycled 930 parts to make this car a turbo.
Yeah.
And something ain't bleeding off pressure, and to the point where it couldn't get out of its own way, and I pulled it over getting on the freeway, and like the turbo was just thermonuclear red.
Sick.
That actually
Towed it
happened.
home.
The turbo was
Yes.
actually red.
Like you open the hood and it's like glaring. So I had it towed home. I let it
Was like
sit. The next
melting
morning,
rubber hoses. Red?
I was pouring smoke from under the hood because that's how hot the turbo got.
Oh my god.
It was just cooking off.
That scares
Yikes.
me.
oil. Was it burning the oil?
It was
No,
burning.
it was just
itself.
overboosting
It was
itself.
self-immolating. Yeah. So I got it home, and then I started it the
Sounds
next
like my
morning.
diesel.
Right. Well, I started the next morning, and then I drove around the block, and it made boost, and it seemed to be okay. And I'm like,
You probably
angry.
resealed it.
So I rolled it in my
Welded in.
I rolled it into my garage.
You made all
I
the
started doing
seals-
some other stuff
Made all
on
the
it, and I
seals
don't know
liquid
yet.
And
Yeah.
they phase changed back to solid.
Yeah, exactly. It's a non-Newtonian turbocharger, but it's yeah. So I need to get that thing back together and then get it out of my life. It's very cool. I love it. If I get it running well enough, I'll auction that too.
Yeah.
Again, just live my life of no reserve auctioning stuff on cars and bids.
the way to
If
do
if it's too shitty, then I'll just Facebook Marketplace it for $5,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I put so
Yeah, you
much
let
work into
some
that car.
Poor 17-year-old
I've done-
buying his first car.
I did.
Don't do
man,
that.
I've just.
Don't do that. To
It's got brand new tires on it. It's got
You'll find some
I
Jake out
redid this.
there.
I recovered the seats. It's got new leather seat covers on
Ooh,
it.
cool.
I did a timing belt and water pump on it. I've done all this shit. Every
a
time
lot
I
of-
touch it, it kicks me square in the junk.
yeah.
So I need to make that end. And then I picked up an 84 Celica Supra recently, not to just
Ooh.
constantly sit on it. And I'm going to prep that one for sale too. I just took it on a DWA. That's the Driving While Awesome guys. I took it on their classic rally.
It did well.
Surprisingly, it had
No
seen
toes,
it had
no
seen
brake?
like 24 miles in 20 years.
What?
to go.
All I did
That's why you
was
buy
impressive.
Toyota. That's why you buy Toyota.
Yeah.
all I did
And
was
luxury car.
in order to prep it for the rally, I got it painted,
I kicked the
which
tires.
is the like I did it. Like,
of all
I
the
should
things
not
you
have done
could
that.
have spent money on.
And then I
you
got it
spent
back. I got it back the day before the rally, and I just like checked fluids. I'm like, well, the coolant's green, and like the oil looks good. full send.
Yeah, I guess.
And, like,
let her rip.
The
clutch
check
is
engine light
fine-
flashed at me a
clutch is
couple of
fine,
times.
and like
Oh, dude, the brakes were like
did you
a little
do a brake
scrapey.
service?
No, but I brought pads and rotors with me and tools in case they were like,
Sat
we'll
for
see.
30 years and you didn't do
20 years.
It doesn't matter.
I beat the balls off that thing for like 400 miles. It did
Just
not
burn
care.
off all the water and brake fluid. You're good.
Yeah,
It did not care.
Wow.
So I've got like $300 in various Rock Auto parts that I took with me along the way, like like coolant hoses and thermostat and plugs and wires and all the things. Needed none of it. Ran like a top.
Wow.
It's 97,000 mile car, 5-speed, brownish.
Brownish.
Well, it was originally maroon. The repaint, color accuracy, it's fine. But I paid like no money
it's
for
a
the paint
color.
job, so it's great.
It's
It
a
actually looks killer. I'm gonna finish prepping it up. I'm just gonna let it rip too because I have too many cars to get it sold. That's front of mind for me. That's what the projects that I'm doing.
So I don't really have project updates, but I did order all of my parts to do my shocks and struts on the Volvo,
Shocking.
which is gonna suck. But I did it.
The electric stuff, like
Hydraulic.
Hydraulic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can put it in advanced mode.
So I can have a car that doesn't wallow.
That'll be ideal.
It's far past the service life of
Are they the originals?
yes. And
What's the
I'm at
mileage on that?
108,000 miles.
Okay.
It's okay, but you know, you really they're usually last 80 to 100,000 miles, and it was my rear right was weepy when I bought the car, and that was 81,000 miles.
Makes me weepy just thinking about it.
Yeah, it hurts. It's starting to pop because it has air in it now.
Ooh,
Okay.
crunchy.
You know, so it's like it's like lost enough fluid to get to the point where
It's a problem.
it's
Well, first it
sometimes
pops,
pop.
and then it'll lock, and then it'll
Yeah.
drop. Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll pop it, lock it, and
usually
drop
how
it.
it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah.
Jake, what about you?
I got back from the Luft road trip, and I was like, I should probably get tires soon. I noticed cord on them.
Uh-oh.
So tires on Friday.
Oh,
And then I still need to do the beat things from last time. Probably going to re-gear it because I want a taller fifth gear.
that's fun.
Yep. I don't want to do it, but I need to.
Just a taller fifth gear, so you
Fourth,
have
fifth.
more highway gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can it like use it? Like, does it have the power to pull it off?
It's really common. You just put the Acti 4.5 and it's Acti
Oh,
has,
okay.
has the same or a little bit less power. So
Sure.
it
Sweet.
I'll just be able to not be at 6,000 RPM on the freeway.
Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah.
You got to get some like really short first and second gears.
Well,
Like 5 mile an hour first gear.
it's kind of, I shift out of first at like less than 20 Ks.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that's my sandbar. My sandbar is good. First in the sandbar is good for like
Well, that car's probably
9
like,
miles an hour.
I was gonna say that
Yeah.
car's probably like because it's like a work vehicle.
Well, that's the thing. It then
So it's
has
probably
a
geared-
crawler gear beyond that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
that
got like a
it
10
engages.
mile an
It'll
hour
engage 4-wheel
Hill
drive
gear. Yeah. Okay.
in the crawler gear.
Okay.
Regular first gear, it's like it's like 9 miles an hour. It's absurd.
It reminds
It's
me
great.
of the
You're
fire.
always shifting.
Reminds me of the fire truck.
Yeah, yeah.
That thing is like
probably
I
identical.
got to drive that thing around SF for a photo shoot a while back, and it was actually like amazing.
And it's
on
only,
the
that one's
hills
only
there.
4-speed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
it
say, it's probably
great on the
4-speed, right?
hills. It was like really not bad.
Because that's an 89, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
much
it should be
about
carbureted 4-speed, 550 cc.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Key car out.
Marketplace finds.
Marketplace finds. Robert came up with 3 of them today, and the first one is a 1990 Saab 900 SP.
Yeah, this is
Damn
just.
it, that's one of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Same exact one.
Yeah, same listing.
Oh wow.
Okay, well, I'll let you speak to it. The only thing I have to say, I don't know anything about this specific car, but this is just like a lifetime bucket list car for me. So
The special
I
performance
grew
group.
up. Yeah. You can talk more about it, but I grew up with 900. My dad had a 900 when I was a kid, and
That's sick.
I just
Mine
have like
Forerunners.
he had that, and then he bought a E500.
What year is this one?
not
Like a
long
90?
after.
Yeah, 1990.
So this is just peak Saab in my mind, and I need one because I want my fighter jet car that doesn't do the fighter
One
jet
from
stuff.
Jets.
Want to go halvesies on one?
I'm down.
This is
Give
a
me
good
like
one to go
year,
have this
Wait
on.
till
Me
I
too.
start making a salary.
I need to.
Boring.
Yeah. 'Cause
Three
I don't have
spokes
I don't
wheels.
have a place to store it, but I'd be down to
Yeah,
do
we
the
could store it.
backwards belt.
We could find a place to store it.
And so you.
I
got
would
one.
absolutely go halvesies on one.
I
I
trust
don't
you.
want to own one outright because
And it-
I'm terrible at everything.
And it's got 2T plates on it, so that's
California.
that's
car.
early. Those are like mid to early 90s plates. So
Yeah,
those
so
are probably
that's
not the
original
originals.
plate. Yeah.
but close.
Cool.
I
Okay, I'll
love
let you.
these.
I'll let you talk about this when it comes to yours, and then I'll finish mine,
All right.
and then we can keep talking about the SPG. We can make a brief
There we go.
a brief
In a very
moment
special
away from
SPG
the
heavy
SPG,
episode.
and then we'll come back to the SPG.
This is a 1999
This is
Bentley
a Bentley
Arnage, if that's what they call it.
If that's what they
Did
call it.
every
Look, he's
single one of
watching
us
it with
have
a
this come
broom.
up?
Is it a broom?
I don't know. It looks like it.
It might be an axe. We don't know. You can't tell.
The only reason I chose this, I mean, apart from the fact that it's an Arnage and they're probably like pretty fun in their own way. Is,
Those aren't the original
I
wheels.
wonder
though,
if
are
that's
they?
the car. That might be an
what
actual
if
one.
that's why he's calling it the Arnage.
Yeah.
It's not an Arnage.
They
it's
called
the
it
Arnage.
the Arnage.
It's an orange
Oh,
Nage.
it
car
still has a
phone?
car phone. That's cool.
Bentley phone.
I just thought it was so ridiculous that he listed it as a quote Arnage. Like, is it like a kit car?
Also, I think most of these photos are probably press photos. Like this doesn't look like.
this looks like
That's
it's in
not
a,
a
that
press
looks like it's in
photo.
a dealership.
Yeah, and so does this.
This looks like it's in a dealership too.
But holding the phone is the one picture. It looks like it's possibly them.
Did you know that it's equipped with a 170 mile per hour speedometer?
Yeah,
That's
I
right
always thought
there.
it was dumb when they list what the
And an
speedometer
M62,
says
I
at
guess.
the peak.
See-
It's like, okay, great. Like
That's the same logic I used when I was like 8.
that's like
Be
an E500.
This car
like
has a top speed of 150 because the
Yeah,
speedometer
yeah,
says
yeah.
150.
Doesn't it?
It's like a 73 Challenger.
211 E500 have like a 180 speedo or a 200 speedo. It's like, okay, well, it can't do that. Like,
So what's great is on the Honda Beat, the speedometer the top number on the speedometer is the top speed.
oh, that's
So
fun.
you
Oh.
pay for a whole speedometer, you can use a whole speedometer.
Ah.
Is it like an odd number?
It's 140Ks. So
Okay, but it's not like
it's
137.
It's
Yeah.
84 miles per hour. But yeah, it's
Killer.
it's like it's 140K. So you just hit the top speedometer, jolt forward a little bit. It's not like you're accelerating fast
Sure.
at that point.
Yeah.
And you
into
just
it.
hear it hit like a limiter, and you're using the whole speedometer, keeping
That
up with not
is
even going traffic
Cool.
speeds.
Here you go.
Okay, my next one is one that we actually might buy. This is a real car that we might real buy.
Oh.
Uh,
I didn't know auctions were in play.
There was a S600, a
was surprised they didn't do cars and
W140
bikes.
S600 that
I
we were
didn't
looking
know.
at that ended up having like rust and some other really scary things.
Yeah, that was
and
icky.
if this car, it's a Canadian car, it's in Canada,
Hey.
but we can pick it up in Washington.
And it's a 97.
And it is in really good condition, and the owner actually posted like all of the really requisite videos to support its functionality and everything.
Good, because these photos hurt my soul.
No, but these photos.
Yeah.
So this is. I went over this yesterday. These photos, like, keep going through them. Wait,
why?
go a bunch more forward.
They're at
Just
least honest.
Go to like
There's like a
photo
VinFast in the background.
81
The windows
something.
halfway down.
Good old VF8.
Yeah, keep going. So when I looked through these photos, they actually made me. Wait, scroll up. They actually made me really happy. No, go back. Because it felt like it was like, and Derek's analogy to this was like, it's like a dog with the camera that goes off when its heart rate is increased.
Oh,
The
okay.
photos on this listing were like somebody was just so excited to post
Oh my gosh,
and
oh my
take
gosh, oh my
photos.
gosh. Oh, it's
Okay,
wet. Now
exit
it's-
out
now
and
it's
go to
gonna
the
rain.
thumbnails. There's one specific photo that just go a little slower. No, go to the thumbnails. Slow down a little bit. Okay, keep going down. Keep going. Keep going. Stop. Move
There?
your mouse over 2 to the left. That one. I love this one. What the hell are you taking a photo of? Why is the glove box open? Why is the door kind of open? There's no subject in this photo.
It reminds me of like being like a sophomore in high school and like taking like a photography
It's
class.
like Dutch. That
and,
photo's like Dutch. and
Exactly.
It's like approaching abstract photography.
That's
you
what I
know?
mean. Like I'm
It's
taking
for
a
a
picture of
class
like
project,
a
yeah.
class project. It's like a black and white manual focused film
Yeah.
image of a lawn chair or
Film in
something
high
with a
school.
soda can on it or something.
So that's why we're watching this. It's not. It doesn't have like the presentation to bring it to a crazy number. I don't think, but it
Right.
does. It does have like the supplementary information. I think to bring a good enough number, but we're really hard on 140. So I think we might bid this to a reasonable number, and if it doesn't close, then we won't get it. It also has an interior that was like unobtainium in America. Just no, there are like
Oh,
no
the two-tone?
It was like
For an
S600
S, yeah,
thing.
for
you
an
know?
S500, that's super hard to find.
In Canada, there's
I love
frequently
Canadian
S500s
market
like this,
stuff
but-
that have like weird options that like we didn't get. Like they occasionally
this.
get like
I mean, this two-tone interior is like doesn't exist on S500s. in
No.
America.
yeah, cars that would randomly get like LSD rears that we never got because
Yeah.
of like because there's snow.
So I really like this car, and it's only at 9, but you know it should be like a low 20s, probably low to mid.
And
20s.
it shows it's the listing is as it's in Canada.
It is in Canada.
Okay.
Currently.
What I've seen on the auction stuff is generally stuff in the Canadian market usually goes for like a 20% haircut.
Yeah.
Big time.
20 to
So that's what we're
25%.
kinda
No one wants to
hoping.
deal with the
So
import.
we're kind of hoping for
But
it.
if you
It's
can
only
do it-
41,000 miles, which is
It's only
like-
41,000 miles. It's not a 25-year rule car. It's a 97.
Right.
So it's not the hoops you got to jump through to get it here aren't that crazy.
Yeah, it's not that bad. And the
It's really
seller
not
said
bad.
he would meet us in Washington.
Oh,
No, killer.
thanks, Sophie.
So like,
Wait,
Let him
it's
carry
just
it,
in
yeah.
Richmond. What do you mean?
yeah.
It's just down the road, yeah.
So
if this was an early model,
I'm
I'd
really-
be all over it too.
I'm really, yeah, I know you like the early models.
I like the early ones, yeah.
You got those twin.
but
twin
for what
posts.
it is,
Yeah, I like
the-
the poles in
the
the back.
purpose for this car would be like our shop car and everything, because right now I'm putting an asinine amount of miles on my Volvo, and that's
Sure.
also my daily, and like that also is a car that's really expensive to maintain when it has problems.
Yep.
And this is a nice like airport cruiser.
W140 famously cheap to maintain.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
You should just
but
buy the diesel.
I'm not paying for it. That's
Fair.
why. So, and it also
It's
if
a
we-
write-off,
if we can-
right?
If we can get it at an okay price, yes, we can write off a good
Yeah.
amount of the value, and also it presumably won't lose value if we lose our shirts and
Yeah.
need to sell it in a year.
Yep.
So Joe's being responsible, getting the brand new
Yeah.
stripper spec Corolla.
Well, we have
You're
very
like-
different use cases. We
No,
have to
I
like
know.
pick up clients. You know?
Yeah,
No,
I'm like,
I'm aware. I'm
I,
just-
I am. I actually was talking to him yesterday because they
Phantom.
accidentally won this S600.
Yeah.
And I was like pointing out all these issues, and I was telling him, I'm like, I actually am gonna be buying an S600 for sure in the next like 3 years, an early model, and I'm like budgeting an insane amount of money for it because I
Yeah.
want it to be literally perfect.
Because they only ever go for like they either
5
like
or
are
40.
clapped and go for like
Yeah.
10, or they go for 40 or 50. It's
Right.
like there's no in between.
Right.
And the one that we looked at, we had a really good friend look at it, and it had like the car had sat. Half of the photos in the listing were from 2020 or
Ew.
2022.
yeah,
That's-
2022.
That's
And there were
not
like
okay.
rust spots from like the
By the
drip,
headlight, right?
dripping
Drip
all
rails,
over, and
yeah.
like the rear, the trunk lock,
Oh, the central lock.
and
yeah.
like there was like probably 5 or 6 spots with visible rust on the paint, and like tons of things had broken that weren't. None of this stuff was disclosed, so we're like, yeah, we're not.
You're able to back
We
out.
won it for like 18 grand.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
was the first bid you
We
guys
were
placed,
like, there's gonna be some really scary things on this, but it was like worse than we had expected.
You
Not
were,
a good
you were able to get
presentation.
out from under it though.
Yeah. I mean, it was
It was
a
too
ton of
boned.
undisclosed stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like. So yeah, there was no problem with getting away from it.
Cool.
which was
Yeah, it's a good find. I hope it ends up here because that'd be great. I would love to see it.
Yeah,
haven't
I'm
seen
keen on
one
that
that
car,
low
and it's a
miles
cool
before.
color. That's like the the color like all the 500Es you ever see are in.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is I think a very nice color.
All right. Unfortunately, Robert has died.
Yeah. Well. Hey,
Uh,
whatever happens on the pod.
I showed him my first marketplace find, and he got really nervous
spooked
and
him.
then evaporated, and now he's
He did.
frozen in time. So we replaced. We moved him over there. Frank's now here. But the show goes on.
Yeah,
so-
I didn't randomly have a Halloween skeleton in my car. That
Exactly.
didn't happen.
Yeah. So, I found this. This is a replica Diablo
For 40 G's?
for 40,000. That's a lot of money.
Yikes.
My
Look
favorite
at
part
that.
about this was this. There's like just a cover.
Beautiful.
Is it made out of Legos? Because it looks like it's made out of Legos.
Yeah.
Like Lego Duplo too, not even like the good ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got the. We
That's-
got
you
It's
know?
actually, you know what? It's not worth 40 grand,
it's well done though.
but it's very well done.
I feel like
Yeah,
it'd be
so-
really funny to pull up to Radwood with.
Oh, dude. I want to take it to a track day.
Oh,
What are the guts? Is it Fiero?
It's a 1988 Fiero.
Okay.
It's a V6. It's 5-speed.
So it's 130 horsepower.
Yeah, everything. It says everything works. And if you don't see this, but for some reason it says comma, dot dot dot, space 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 space. No.
No.
So I'm not sure about that, but
that's
Perfect to us,
actually, that completely tracks, that seller, quote unquote, seller's description completely tracks with the car and who I would assume would own
yeah.
this car.
You know,
Look at this TV. First of all, look at this. You don't see it really well, but
Ooh,
look at how big that thing is. And
Oh,
we
go,
just-
skip forward one more. Go to the photo of it. Now. Yes, look what's in the garage though.
Yep, I was
It's
about to comment on
a
the
Chrysler 200.
beautiful.
God, it checks all the boxes. What state is that license plate?
Is that
Uh,
Oregon?
Wisconsin.
Oh.
Wisco? It's a Wisco plate?
WI.
That's a weird Wisco plate.
Yeah.
It looks like the Olympic like 80s plate like the California one on the
Kinda.
Chrysler.
And I'll be honest, I didn't find this car. Someone posted it in a like a Facebook group, and I was like,
Okay.
I need to put this up there because
It is gold.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I mean, for a kid car, this actually looks
It's
like
pretty. It's pretty okay. There's a 0% chance I would spend 40 grand.
no,
on
it's
it.
probably worth 3,900. I'll probably
Yeah,
buy
I'd say
30.
Right.
You just
Yeah,
knock
it's got
a
an
comma
extra.
off.
Yeah, take a zero
knock
off,
a decimal
yeah.
place off, and you're
Well,
golden.
you know what? You know what would happen though if you offered $3,900. ...
No.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my find. It's funny because I'm not sure if Jake was mentioning this in his, but he sent us a kit car earlier this week, and I'm like, this is perfect because I'm in a kit car mood this week.
I did.
I would love a
did.
Bentley GT
You know,
or a
I'll
not a
add the
Bentley,
link.
Bradley GT.
Oh,
Bradley
those
GTs
are
are
actually cool.
sick. Those are
So
cool.
while you add the link, this is really quick. I just thought it was funny because of the description. So this is a full ground up restoration. This is an SL500 at top value paid dealership. And just this, so this photo is whatever. Look at the second photo. Mind you, this has been fully restored.
fully restored. Oh,
So
puppy.
if you look at all this dirt all
Oh,
over here,
delicious.
You know,
all this like
sometimes you never wash your hands and then drive an R230.
description. This is a 2004 Mercedes SL500 hardtop convertible, fully restored to perfection.
Perfection.
And so I guess
The best or nothing.
I guess thought it was hilarious because this thing is like trashed,
It's pretty.
super dirty, really like.
I like how it's,
faded and-
you'd be like, it's perfect, never been smoked in. No dog. Oh wait, no, there's a dog in it. In
Yeah.
the photos.
yeah. So that's just that was like quickie. I thought it was funny when I was looking for things. So this is the real. Oh, of course. Oh, this is Robert's. Okay.
That's Roberts. That's
I
Roberts.
literally because that'd be the kind of
Thought it
person
sold.
be the kind of person to post that.
What do we got? What do we got?
So I wish Robert was here because he was talking about the Pullman.
Pullman mode.
But
Grocer
this is a Pullman. It's the big one. It's the long one with the TV in the back.
One long boy.
Unfortunately, it's missing its
Me, big
hubcaps,
boy.
which makes me kind of concerned about the rest of the car.
Yeah,
but
thin
like,
whites.
this is out in Los Angeles, which is typical.
I said the pictures looks like it's in like Bolivia or something.
Yeah, and if you look at like it's all
Well,
like
it's not. It's a Euro
dusty
plate on it
and
too,
like
the back.
been rained on and stuff. This is probably the worst one in the world. But like, look, I mean,
God,
it
it's still
comes.
so damn cool.
comes
I'd say
though.
with-
the worst
uh,
Pullman in the world is still
Look
it's
at that.
super cool though.
exquisite.
God, what are they asking?
$450,000 seems like a lot of money. It seems like a lot of money for one of these.
Yeah, that's steep. I mean, it's impressively awesome, but
Yeah,
a lot of
he's
money.
saying one of 467 vehicles. I don't really know. I didn't do my research, but this is crazy. I can't believe that this is on Facebook Marketplace.
sagging headliner.
Yeah, right.
Well, what I can't believe is that they actually took a picture of the sagging headliner.
Yeah, at least they're
Because on
honest.
Facebook Marketplace, it'd be this car's been restored to perfection. And then
Yeah.
you get there and there is no headliner.
There's
Yep.
blue painter's tape right here too.
Or it's
That's-
stapled in.
This
Right,
car is probably not the car to buy, but if you want a Pullman and you are willing to spend the money, I
How many
also
weeks
think-
has this one been on?
Let's find out.
Over a month.
A day ago,
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
but that could be just because it was listed for
Relisted.
72 months, and
Right.
now it's Facebook finally deleted the ad.
Right.
It just says 22,000 miles. That's probably a lie. Probably that was like 122,000.
That's when the
miles.
odometer stopped.
Just based off of the way it looks.
Oh wait. Oh, it actually does say.
I mean, who knows? I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
somebody
but
was commuting.
It could have
in
been
one of
rolled
those.
over like 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it's been rolled over too many times, but like
No,
it's
yeah.
missing hubcap. I mean, like if
Yeah,
you get
I don't.
a
That's the
Pullman,
least of your worries.
yeah, like it's like I don't know. It's also bad photos. You can't even get the whole car in the photo.
Yeah, there's not even a
has that
plastic
TV
Halloween
definitely.
skeleton in it somewhere.
Yeah,
And those pictures are definitely not Los Angeles.
yeah, right.
I'm sorry, it looks like a square in Bolivia or
yeah.
something.
What do you think about it, Robert? Okay.
Yeah, so I guess I mean Amanda, I hope you sell your
Ooh,
Pullman.
she's only got 4 stars though on her rating.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go into her profile because she might sue me, but
True. Defamation sensation.
yeah, there's no way this is you're correct. There's no way this is in LA. There's like a Euro plate that's like this is
Forget-
probably not real.
Amanda's gonna catfish us is what it is. Automotive catfish.
Anyway, yeah, that's
Look at that E34 down there.
yeah. No, there's
Look at that.
there's actually
Look at
there's
that.
been a lot of
Look at
really
that.
really clean E34s recently for
I
sale.
saw it on my way here.
Oh, and another tidbit. If you want a W140, I know we're going on a tangent, but
okay.
the
I'm here
Grand
for the tangents.
the Grand Edition. So this is I think these come from the factory with monoblocks.
Monoblocks?
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
And the Grand Edition is just like full leather everything. It's like a special like final year run.
Almost like the L7s or L6s on the 6
Yeah,
series
so
and 7
you
series.
get more leather, you get more everything. People back like
Quite
maybe
grand.
10 years ago, like put a huge premium on them. But these days they're not they're not really worth the money anymore.
All right. That's a hot buy right there in the world of W140s.
Yeah. All right. So those are my marketplace finds. Frank.
Okay, so I've got a few on
found.
here, and then I've got an honorable add in here at the end. I didn't know auctions were in play here. So check this out. This is a 1998 Contour SVT.
This is what I'm here for. This
Now,
is what marketplace
It
finds.
runs, it drives, it's smogged. The paint is cooked.
Wow.
But $2,500, 145,000 miles
It's a good time
for
the price.
a red SVT Contour. And most of these, the dashes are normally like inside out, like the sun destroys them. The interior on this car is actually pretty okay. It doesn't look that bad.
Decent enough.
I don't know. I really want a Contour SVT because I'm an idiot.
It's just
So
on the
it's
road.
never ant. It's a never shitbox.
Yes, it is. And you know what? Price is right. $2,500. You know, low money in, no money out. You know,
Yep.
it's. I don't know. I'd mess one up.
I feel like this
would
car is
do inappropriate
perpetually
things to it.
$2,500. You know, if that's
I
just
think
the-
I think they're worth They're all worth $2,500 because
Yeah.
they're always completely shrecked. Like
Yeah.
they're not in good shape ever. If you find a perfect one, like the nicest one on the planet is worth like $9. But they're cool. They're what? I think 195 horsepower, 2.5
Enough to have
liter,
fun.
hopped up Duratec. Or no, maybe it's 205. I think it's 205 on the pony count. But yeah, this was supposed to be like the 3 Series competitor from Ford. And I don't know if they quite pulled it off, but I don't know. I think they've aged pretty well. This one hasn't specifically.
Yeah, this one is.
This one is aged quite
at least on the
Ford-like.
outside.
aged like milk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, at least yeah. I mean, it's a good buy. $2,500 seems like a good buy.
You can't do anything for $2,500
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, you can't do anything literally.
No, anything. You can,
That's a good find. I never even knew these existed, so it's fun.
What?
That I learned
Oh.
that today.
Yeah, that was the fun era. So you had this. You had the Ford Focus ZX3 SVT, which was the little hatch.
More of a saline version of those.
Right, you can get the Saline one, and then they had the Saline. Was it the NOS version, like the NO2 or whatever, where it
Yeah.
came not factory, but it was the Saline with like a 50 shot of nitrous or something, and a bunch of
Something like that, yeah.
yeah, and a bunch of crazy shit. So I really want one of them. I feel like most of them are either silver or they made like a forest green. That was pretty popular. You don't see the reds, but they were only manual. They were all manuals,
That's cool.
and they're cool. You got the white face gauges.
I
Yeah.
like white gauges.
Yeah, I would like to ruin one. So $2,500.
That's and you can't lose unless the motor is destroyed. But
Right. Hey, that's
That's
the
a good
price.
find.
Then you lose $2,500. It's not that big a deal.
yeah. Okay.
Now this one's been on the
thinking-
market for 37 weeks.
God's
Oh, look at
chariot.
those.
There's a lot. It
screenshots.
is God's chariot. Absolutely. This is a
See if I can-
2011 Murano Cross Cabriolet. They're asking $6,500. It has 67,000 miles. Salvage title.
Ooh.
They're claiming it's because of a since repaired minor dent on the rear bumper, and it's on like 26s.
So why don't you own this
Yeah.
yet?
I'm assuming because it's the-
28 inch, mind you.
28-inch wagon
28
wheels.
Yeah, 28 inch.
Golly, look at this thing. So first off, the photos
These are screenshots.
they're screenshots from an iPhone dated June 1st of 2022.
sounds
It's
familiar.
probably illegally parked in a handicap space. It
There's
has
the
a salvage
handicap tab right
title.
there, but, yeah, it's
Oh,
probably-
okay, okay, never
Okay, so
mind. I
it's
take it all
legal.
back.
We're
I
good.
take it all
We're
back.
golden.
fraud or something.
That's on me. That's on me. And yes, God's chariot. So I and actually every single human being that works at Carson Bids all have an unnatural affinity for the Murano Cross Cabriolet.
What about the Evoque
It's-
cabs?
The which one?
The Evoque cabs, are they?
Evoque cabs are actually, I mean, any convertible SUV, soft top,
Yep.
power retractable convertible SUV is a meme on wheels. But the Murano of
In
all
particular.
things, in particular, is the most memeable,
Oh, yeah.
let alone on 28s, the most memeable vehicle of all time. This one has every possible red flag on a Facebook Marketplace ad possible distilled into a singular
This is
ad.
beautiful. It's perfect.
It is. Look at that. Look at those wheels.
Yeah, it's
Um,
something else.
I
They're-
want it. I want it. I mean, it's. Then I started. What's crazy? I started looking. The next cheapest one I can find is like 17 grand.
Jesus.
They're holding their money with their CVTs.
Yep.
Jatco CVTs and all. But look at this. Look at this thing.
There's one that's somewhere in Marin, not far from my dealer. I've seen it a few times, and the top is held together by duct tape and dreams.
Like, where does one get a replacement top? Somebody somewhere's got to make one. I promise you, Nissan doesn't have the infrastructure or give a damn to actually make them be still. They have to be NLA. There's no way you can get a top from Nissan on that anymore.
Well, there's one left that's just been sitting covered in dust. It's probably pre-shrunk.
Yeah, they're probably demanding like a huge premium.
Carlos Ghosn is wrapped in it right now in a briefcase somewhere on his way to a Latin American country. They're so bad they're good. Also, I'm curious. Do you think somebody makes a hard top for those? Like, how sick would that be? You get the hard top,
Just
a
like
shitty fiberglass hard top,
a Mugen hardtop, like equivalent.
a Nismo hard top.
Yeah,
Got some spoon parts on my Murano Cross Cabriolet. No, there's top. Well, shit, you can get a top right. Wait, it was used. There was a used top for $3,500.
and it was a tan top. That's heinous.
Yeah, and it's like stained too.
Perfect.
It's got some Peter Northian stains on it. The other, look at that mint color.
Yeah, that's
you got to go mint, and then they made like a salmony gold color too. That's pretty dope.
The green's
It's
interesting.
not
too.
quite JRG, but it's good.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
don't
not
see
quite
anything with
that.
the hard tops.
It's.
I mean,
darn.
at that point, you just get the
Corner of the market.
CV.
We figured it out.
Yep.
we should
Money to
start
be
making
made.
them. There's money to be made.
All the
And
$17,000
So-
Muranos out there.
so can I have you search one up real quick?
Yes.
So and I promise this is not purely a plug for my employer.
Oh, Carson Bits. We're going Carson Bits.
Go to Carson Bids real quick. I think it's like the
Not
5th
bars.
or 6th listing from the top. So it ends tomorrow. I've genuinely considered bidding on this because it's under money right now. Right there, the Mazda Speed Protege.
Those are cool.
It's an 03 Mazda Speed Protege.
I forgot about these.
It's got some miles on it. I want to say it's got like 160 or 170 on it, but it's clean. And
The
this was
wing
like a
goes hard.
2-year only car. This was before the
little USB-C.
before the
for
Mazda
exhaust.
Speed 3.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to say they had like a Callaway turbo or some branded turbo on it from the factory, like 170 horsepower.
A little crusty.
Yeah, it's a little crusty, but it's never mind. It's got fewer miles, 135.
Wait, what's the remote, like the regular TV remote in the cup holder?
Oh, good question. That's a very good question. Aftermarket
Maybe
stereo. That's what
radio.
that
Oh,
for.
yeah.
So in case like you don't
There's
want
a
to
radar
reach,
detector with a
in
light.
case you don't want to reach just to your right, you can reach into the glove, the cup holder. God, see, people wash their engine bays, man.
Yeah.
Like
takes
just a wash would probably net $1,000 extra on this
Yeah,
car.
this would go a long way.
Yeah.
But these are so cool. This one's probably because of some of that. Oh, Racing Beat. It's got Racing Beat sway bars on it. Dang.
That's
What
a
a
good-
what a moment in time. I as I grow older, I'm becoming more and more interested in the early 2000s
Me too.
tuner stuff. That was such a moment in time.
See, that was me growing up. So these were like the cars that were kind
Yeah.
of like being a little cheap but cool as a kid.
And this one's at $3,900 right now, even if it's
That's
sold for
it?
$5,500, right?
That's a fun
Like,
car for
and
money.
this one's deeply flawed. Like, I see why people aren't bidding, but like, look at that. There's like a rusty mirror.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and-
dings and scratches and dents. but,
which is
like,
fine. Like, I'm actually okay with that. Like, I'm more offended by like the lack of engine bay preparation. There's a missing center cap, stuff like
You
that.
could
You know,
definitely
scrub the
flip it,
seats,
too.
clean those steering wheels.
You could
I
own it for
could.
a year.
God,
put
these
a
are
little
these
time
are
into
good
it.
though. They were only a couple years. They didn't sell a lot of them. They went to the Mazda 3 right after this, and then you have the Speed 3, which is actually a lot of fun. That was like
Torque
torque
steer for
steer
days,
personified. Yeah.
Super spot.
They're very cool, and so I wanted to check this one out. I might sneak a bid in on this one. There's a rule at Cars and Bids that like employees can't bid on stuff unless it's no reserve, and this is a no reserve car, so I can sneak a bid in if I wanted. Oh, the Sparco pedal covers.
Yes.
I bet those are these factory?
I
Or
don't
are
think they are, but honestly,
That's
they
cool.
they
They
maybe
work.
could be. They maybe could be.
And there's
Like,
other branded stuff, so
yeah, they did a lot. They were grabbing that like tuner scene thing back then. Like Kenwood call outs on the stereo.
Yeah. That's cool. It's a
yeah.
cool car. It would be a good car for like a backroads rally.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
take it on a rally, just beat the
Beat the
snot
crap
out of it. It would be fine.
Yeah.
And
it's a Japanese car. It'll take it.
you're a
Get
mechanic.
invoices. Yeah. That's a great find. I hope this goes to a good home in the Bay Area. I hope it goes to
How
Frank.
dare you, sir?
I want someone else in the Bay Area to own it so I can enjoy.
So I could
its
see it.
presence.
Yeah.
That's right. How about you, Robert? Are you going to place a bid on it? Wow.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Insightful. That was insightful. That was good.
Wise words from a wise person. It might be going to a high-end brokerage in your area. Who knows?
Wow, exactly.
Anyway, Jake's first car. This
I'm nervous.
This might be the same one.
Saab.
So, this
Saab
is
job.
a first. You and Robert both.
I
picked
saw
this
it
one.
on his screen. I thought he was peeking at all the listings.
Yeah.
I guess we both like our Swede speed. My first car was a Saab, so there's that attachment there.
Wait,
Or-
go back one more photo real quick. Go back. Is that a
SPG.
dog in the back seat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Hey, it's
checking.
fun. The SPG 3 spokes, which it's of the era. It's fitting. They're just cool.
They are cool. By the way, that has to be another first where there were 2 ads that had pictures with dogs in the car.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That has to be another
Yeah.
first. There's no
Yeah.
way that's happening. before.
Safest dog on the road if it's in the backseat of a Saab.
These are very cool. I've owned 1.5. I've owned 1.5 Saabs in my life. One was a 900. It was a 1990 900 convertible NA. So it was just an S, 900S, 5-speed. It was a one-owner car. Came out of San Francisco. I paid $1,500 for it.
Mine was $2,500 for a 9.3.
This was black over tan. The synchros on second and third were shot, which is kind of common. And I owned it for like 3 weeks, and I flipped it. I sold it for like $3,500 in like 2 weeks, and that
Say
was the end of
less.
it. But very cool cars.
You ever see how the belts are backwards on the
Yes.
firewall?
Hey, those suck to do, but do a clutch?
They're easy.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
Just right there on the nose.
Yeah, I think these cars look cool too. And there's like one range where it was faster than a 911 because the 930 wasn't in boost and this was. So like it's like from
20 to 50, it was
or
like
something like that, or like 30 to 70 or what, some short range where it would beat a 930
Yep.
in period.
No, they're cool.
Yeah, these are
They're
wild.
really cool. And
So
I've
that's
always
great.
thought until somewhat recently, I always thought 3-spoke wheels were the dumbest, stupidest thing ever. I've completely turned the corner on that.
some of them still are pretty goofy, but some of them
Like the aftermarket ones were always kind of shitty.
The
but
OEM ones work.
these like early Vipers.
Yep, that was the other one. Came to
Yeah.
mind.
Hard body pickups. Where'd the beard go? It's over there. With those like double, the double tri-spoke. Yeah.
Yep, I think these are cool, and just I want to own another Saab at some point after my first car. It did me well. The only issue I had was the diverter valve went bad, so it'd make turbo flutter noises, which when you're a junior in high school,
It's good
turbo
enough.
flutter
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's not a bug. It's a
Yeah,
feature.
that was
Yeah.
a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
had to super glue vacuum lines back on when I put the new one on.
Yeah. Super glue. Wonder
Find
tool.
number 2 is a 1991 Honda Acti.
So I may or may not message this guy.
Is it a street?
Yeah, it's a street. So it has a TAC, has AC, whichever 2 options I really want.
You can get a street with steel wheels.
I guess so.
Wow.
And they're not rusty. That's like the,
Yeah.
So I messaged him asking about rust. If he doesn't have rust, I'm gonna not pay $8,200. That's way too much.
It's too much,
Wow,
but it's
Conqueror
actually a
too.
fair. It's actually a fair asking price.
Yeah,
Because
it's
a lot
fair
of these
starting-
you'll
it's a
see
fair
it'll
starting
be
number.
it'll be like 13.9, and you're like,
I saw
no.
a sandbar with like spray painted interior for 14.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and this
Yeah.
one looks
Couldn't
decently
capture the
clean.
novelty.
It's not registered yet, but I already have my booming business in Montana.
There you go.
So, yeah, if it works out, if the numbers match, it might be at Solano. I won't tell anyone. I'll just show up.
Hell yeah.
That'd be amazing. if
And
you
it's
did
in
that.
Concord. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Very close. Yeah, surprising.
Yeah.
Is it just like a dude, or is it like an importer?
it's a dude. It's
I
at
don't
his
know.
dad's house, I guess. So I'm waiting.
Oh,
on-
I thought that was a Murano cross cab in the background.
That would have been perfect. But so I'm waiting on his dad to take a video of the undercarriage because I'm not going to even look at the car if
Sure.
there's rust underneath.
Let me know. I live in Martinez. I'm like
Yeah.
really freaking
I mean,
close.
if you would want to drive me there in the sandbar.
Ooh.
So I was going to bring the
That's
beat.
like
You might get some
that's-
bonus points
that's
from that.
Or if you want to drive the beat there to pick it up. The
beat
so you
goes
could drive
on.
the beat.
Ooh. Okay. Things to
So-
consider.
so I think
I have like no time in my life, but I will carve time out.
It would be on a weekday night probably. So
There you go.
I
How
will-
about both?
Oh,
Just like double show up, one in a sandbar, one in a
One in a
beat,
beat.
and
Yeah,
just
and
like
then fight about it. Yeah.
just like
find
yeah,
someone to-
hey, just like the crew rolls in, just walk in like
yep. I have no.
snap at our fingers like some like 1950s gang, just like marking our territory.
It's
like,
perfect.
yeah, we're the K car bros. We're here to.
Because I can't pick up a car in Cayman. Everyone's gonna think I'm rich. In reality, I'm like
yeah, yeah.
skating by. I got a great deal on that car.
Yes.
Like my friend, we went to pick up a Mark IV GTI for like pennies, right? Mm-hmm. It's a shit box, but it's his daily. And I'm like,
It
well, I
works.
guess we're driving to Napa in a beat because ain't no way we're getting a good deal on this if I pull up in a newish Cayman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. And
agree,
if you show up in
I
a K car, like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
An enthusiast.
But I
Right.
guess it's
Let's
in
give
the
him a
dude's
deal.
dad's house in Concord.
That's cool. I'm surprised I haven't seen it. I live in Clayton, so I like right by there.
I don't think it hasn't been registered yet, so it's not been on the road.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Well, I hope you get it and hope you bring it to Solano in a few days. That'd
Hell
be
yeah.
awesome.
And you'll get to drive it.
I would love to drive it. I probably fit in it.
Yeah,
This is
I
it.
fit, so I
This
can
is the
fit
one.
behind myself in the
What
driver's
is
seat.
happening?
All right, so this is
It's
the
a
car.
beauty.
This is the car that we've been talking about.
Oh man. Tell
so
me more.
this is another Fiero, I think.
This one's a better deal though.
Yeah, this is $7,000. Koenig
Koenig
Special
Testarossa.
Testarossa.
Oh yeah. Yikes.
Hey, but look,
They
the
relocated.
handbrake on the
I was gonna say they relocated the handbrake.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's a sport
basically
car now.
Ferrari.
Wow.
I
There
didn't
you
even
go,
look at
everybody.
the description.
Wow.
I just saw
Serious
Is it just
buyers,
wait? What's in the
please.
background? Another abandoned car?
another.
Yeah, it
What
looks
is
like
that?
it.
Well, there's something in the foreground of the last picture too.
Oh,
Come on.
it's a fired up Veyron.
Come on, man.
Come on,
Like,
baby.
is that like a fake, like a gas cap or whatever?
like
on
on a
the-
scoop.
I don't know what
God,
that
it's
is.
something.
It's broken. That's what it is.
It's broken.
Oh.
Wow.
There's another.
Oh, you
Okay.
see a little 250
Yeah, it's like a
replica?
250.
There's something else going on here. I think there's another picture. Oh, there's right
Colorado
here.
Is it an airplane frame right there? Like a
Yeah.
fuselage?
Yeah, this
Like a
guy's,
Cessna
this guy's a
fuselage?
meth addict.
We need to get out there. Oh, look at that!
If you're
Yes.
interested. right
Oh,
there.
look at the wheels on it too.
And there's like a golf cart corpse in the background. Did we just dox that guy, by the way?
I hope not.
Hey, it's for sale.
It's for sale, I guess.
It's realistic.
I'll have to cut that out. Or I'll have to blur that out.
That's a him
Oh,
problem.
we did it
Oh
again.
God, oh no!
I think it's a prime
Look at
OTS
the
vehicle
look at
right
those
here.
wheels. That's right.
Yeah, so
We should get
this is
Derek on. We should get Derek.
Where
and
is
Robert
this
on
located?
Lancaster.
It's like Daytona Beach. at
Lancaster,
that.
California.
It's very Lancaster.
Yeah.
There's been a bunch of kit cars out.
That's a
I guess
lot of.
people are selling
There's a
them for
lot of
summer.
Fiero parts in that interior still.
It kind of looks
Yeah.
like Enzo from this view. Like the proportions are just off enough to where it almost is Enzo
Yeah, they were
shape.
like building
By
an
that you
Enzo.
mean the actual decomposing corpse of Enzo Ferrari?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, this
At least the
guy's-
interior does.
This guy's crazy. He's probably a meth addict or something. This is a good find though.
Well, my marketplace is meth.
So if you
and
show up
millionaires.
with like $2,000 in cash, you might be able to get it.
Yeah,
Maybe
or
$2,000
like
and 12
just
pack.
go buy some meth from the local dealer and like just here you go.
go to one of
Okay.
the people at the laundromat in Martinez.
Oh yeah, dude. I live right next. I live right next to the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
by the high school. I'm right by that laundromat. I'll talk to my neighbors.
Yeah.
Well, I think these have been all pretty iconic marketplace.
I think
finds.
it's one of the best
one of the
marketplace
best
find
ones.
segments.
Yeah, and also a fun fact with the members.
Yeah.
You've been around this too. We have a Discord for members, and
Oh.
it's been lively with
There's been
marketplace finds.
prime listings.
Some insanity
I was
going
gonna
on.
put the Testarossa in there. I was like, knew I was coming here. So.
Yeah,
Are
I-
people
I-
actually pulling stuff out and buying any of this shit, or it's all just like
No,
for the walls?
it's
I
all.
think it's all meme.
It's
'cause
heinous
if,
usually.
if people actually show up in this stuff, that'd be insane. But
If they would get in the like hero section
Instant
of some-
goated.
yeah, no, they
Cars
just
and
become
Culture.
honorary. They would always get spots.
we hate your
but-
car, but
They'd
we
go
love
in
your
the tent,
culture.
under the tent at Solano.
yeah, exactly. But that's another perk of becoming a member. All right, so for today's main topic, we go back into car names. Last week we discussed the worst car names of all time,
What's in a name?
and now we're going to be talking about the best car names of all time. We picked this topic specifically because I think Frank has some great information about this.
Oh boy! Oh, do I? God, it's definitely Ford Probe or no?
Yeah.
What about? What's crazy is like it's way easier for me to think of like terrible names, like whatever
Yeah.
Infinity's been doing for the last decade.
Yeah, just about.
What's
Infinity's
fun?
hated him on this podcast a lot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I've
It sucks that they've earned it because they were so good in like 2003, 2004, and we're 20 years later, and it's just the absolute laughing stock.
I've always said all VQs go to a Central Valley to die.
They do, or a sideshow near you
Yes.
here in the East Bay.
Or in Oakland, yeah.
Man, you know what? There's some. It's funny if we go to JDM stuff, there's some really like interesting stuff, and then there's some just like terrible stuff. Like no one's gonna say like Nissan Cedric.
Well, I think
That's
there's
like the best name.
There's a Mazda Titan Dump.
There's the Titan Dump. There's a Suzuki Every Joy Pop.
Oh, there's a Joy Pop Turbo.
There is a Joy Pop Turbo. I
Those
almost
are
bought a
cool.
Joy Pop Turbo.
Those are cool.
You get a Joy Pop
Joy
Turbo.
Pop Turbo.
You can go. God, there's a Daihatsu Naked.
Ooh, that's
Which is
good.
clutch. You can go. I think it's Isuzu Mighty Boy.
Ooh,
Is that competing with the Mighty Max or something?
No, it's a whole different kind of boy.
Yeah, okay.
a big boy.
The big boy. Yeah. Mitsubishi Canter. Like, there's all kinds of crazy land, wind. There's all kinds of interesting stuff. But more realistically, as far as like a really just excellent name, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with a car I own.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go Barracuda.
that is a good one.
That's a great name.
Well, Plymouth
America really,
Barracuda.
U.S. domestic cars really killed
They got
it.
the names.
The era,
down.
yeah. You had the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
There was some good stuff before everything went like, numeric.
Yeah. Wait, I feel like of all numeric names, are like Vidu I feel like 2CV, 2 horsepower. I feel like that's just like,
Yeah.
just so brutally honest.
Right.
I like that, And Ducheville has a good, it's more to
Ducheville.
it. It's more to it than just E63,
Yeah.
Right. Or
Yeah.
Q50.
Yeah. I mean, like the Ford Galaxy. I think that's a really fun name.
Yeah.
too.
With the IE instead of a Y.
Yeah.
Ford Galaxy is really good. Solid. Quick shout out to Blind Melon. They have a song called Galaxy, and it's with the IE. It's a good song. Listen to it at home. Play along at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, there was some really. It's a shame that we've actually. I feel like naming cars in like the modern car space is a lost art,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, big time.
Lucid Air, okay, like that's an
Sapphire, too.
effort. You get the Sapphire, right? Like that's good. That's an effort. Model 3, R1T.
That's where my mind went. Was,
Like there's this naming convention, and I get the logic. The logic is like, okay, you get people to say Rivian R1T, and so now the brand name is out there, but like, and I guess I understand it for a startup,
yeah,
but for
a legacy brand.
any legacy brand, right? Even Audi, and they've kind of done that forever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I just, it just. Acura went away from it, right? They had the Integra, which is kind of a mid-tier name. Nobody cares about Integra as a name. But there's brand cachet in it, and it went away, and now it's back. But you had Legend, you had Vigor, you had some, which is also not a great name, but it was a name.
Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore. There's no names.
It's like MDX, LDX, like
Yeah.
who knows? Like the whole Lexus brand, the whole Lexus lineup. I have no idea.
They
what
should
it
do an
is.
what it is,
LDS.
Yes.
Yeah, the Church of Latter-day Saints, the new Acura LDS.
Only sold in Utah.
Exactly. Kills it. It has to be a minivan.
Oh, has
It
to be.
has to be a minivan.
But like a 3 driver seat, so both wives can be in it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, and you can go chauffeur in the back with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a lost art. Joe, what do you think?
Well, before Robert died, he told me to tell you guys that
Oh.
his favorite name is the De Tomaso Mangusta.
Yeah.
It's good, and it works well with Di Tommaso. Di Tommaso
does.
Mangusta.
It
It's got
does.
a really
It's very
good,
in your
powerful word, like
sure.
It's a very in-your-face name.
I'm trying to think of a single German car at nothing.
They're able because they're too. Yeah, I mean,
They're-
like
they're too
and
serious.
no BMWs. Like maybe the Isetta, which isn't even a BMW, is a name, but like that's like not even an interesting name.
Like,
no BMWs.
Iso
they're all-
Revolta or something.
Yeah,
like, I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, Volkswagen names are solid.
I like the Beetle is iconic. I mean, that looks like
mean,
a Beetle, right? It
the
looks like a
fact they
button.
We all
have-
know the story about the Tiguan, though, right?
The Tiger Iguana,
The Tiger
baby.
Iguana.
No, I didn't know what was the story about the Tiguan.
It was a
Oh.
magazine, or it was like what?
It was like a
Autocar?
contest or something,
It was a
right?
contest in a magazine, but it was like the magazine old people read. Is what?
Right.
Yeah.
It was like highlights or something.
Yeah.
So they chose the name based off of like a survey,
It was So they had like 4 options.
pick
They're
your
all
two favorite
animals
animals.
combined.
and it was tiger and iguana.
Yeah. So Tiguan.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so awesome!
it's.
I can't wait to tell.
insane.
My sister has a Tiguan. I can't wait to tell her.
Oh, just call it a tiger iguana. And she'll be
Yep.
like, what the
Yeah,
hell are you
what?
talking about? like Tiguan.
But I feel like Volkswagen, like especially when they had the wind, Corrado, Scirocco, Passat, Gulfstream, Jetta, Jetstream. Like I feel
Yeah.
like they at least had a thing. Touareg is rough. No one can pronounce it.
Right.
I like Ford.
Phaeton. And I get it. Like, there's history.
Yeah, how do
behind
you pronounce
name,
that? I was listening to a podcast and they called it Phaeton.
but Phaeton.
Phaeton.
I always called it Phaeton,
That's
I
how
guess
I
called
vote.
Phaeton too. Yeah.
Yeah.
which
Our
is
dealer-
probably very anglicized or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Phaeton does like give me a luxurious, like I feel
Yeah,
like
sure.
I'm like it's like I'm in a vivid like fever dream of like luxury kind of thing.
I feel like you have
that
both.
should be. I feel like that should be in the original marketing material.
Yeah.
Fever dream of
Like some like
luxury.
weird like EDM music in the background.
Yeah.
It's just like this like Phaeton in the background
Some
with the disco
Berlin
ball.
techno.
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of disco ball, how about shout out to an Alfa Romeo Disco Volante?
Ooh,
That's
a
a
great
good
name.
good one. That is a
That's
great name.
that's a
a
car with
super
a
good
good
I
name.
feel like that Italians have some good names and then they have LaFerrari. Like they go back.
They
and
messed up
forth.
big time. Yeah.
Put us
I
on
like
the
a
way.
lot of the
Like,
Lamborghini names that are like crazy raging bulls or
Murcielago.
whatever.
Diablo.
Yeah.
Lamborghini Diablo is like.
Yeah.
I've been on a Diablo kick lately. Like,
Yeah, that's a great.
I might spend 40 grand on a
yeah,
replica that I've seen for
39.9.
sale lately.
You can get your replica.
Yeah, but yeah, Lamborghini Diablo, Countach, and then you've got like, I don't know, Ferrari California shows up, and you're like,
Yeah.
Well, now that I think about it, a lot of Volkswagen Audi group like kills it because if you think, I think like
A4.
most of the Bentleys, like every Bentley besides like
RS3.
Turbo R is like a great name.
Yeah.
Turbo R is like
Mulsanne,
almost like a cop out.
Flying Spur.
Yeah, all of them, they're great. Same with Rolls Royce.
Arnage.
Yeah, yeah. All the Rolls Royces, all the Bentleys, they have this like they have these names that like to the common person, I have no idea what they're meaning, but they sound luxurious to me.
Yeah.
And they sound like elusive and like mysterious and like expensive.
Yeah.
Like besides Turbo R, which is like was
Right.
a huge missed opportunity. I think.
On the bad names, did you guys mention the least celebrity-owned car of all time, the Chevrolet Celebrity?
We didn't because we
Celebrity Eurosport.
Man.
we got into the Ford Probe and we spent like 6 minutes on it because we were trying to figure out what it was we went too deep into it.
You went definitely too deep, pun intended.
we went too deep into the probe. Yeah,
Same. Yeah,
so
exactly.
we
So
missed
the
out
probe
on-
didn't go too deep. You guys went too deep.
You went too deep with the probe.
Oh, that makes more sense.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's going to be the episode.
probing
name is
question.
The Probe is the best and the worst car name in the entire world.
Real talk though, I would absolutely fuck with like a really nice like 95 probe GTS.
Okay.
Six-cylinder manual.
So the person you're taking over for today, Sean.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Same
I remember him
thing.
saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Probe GT he was all about it. Apparently, it was supposed to be a Mustang.
It's
Someone
It
else-
was,
Take its
it was
place,
supposed
yeah.
to be the Mustang replacement,
Yeah. Whoever. I.
and then
I'm
everyone
sure we
got
know
up
you.
in arms.
Yeah.
Kind of like
but
928, 911, same exact
Similar
thing.
similar vibe.
Yeah.
Pontiac vibe. There's a car for you.
Yeah,
I
Pontiac
owned
vibe.
one of those. It was not terrible.
Really, the one I worked on was terrible, but it was also in Georgia.
Mine was a
so-
GT, so it had the 2ZZ GE
Oh yeah, no, the one
Elise
I
motor and a 6-speed.
No, the one I had to use a hanger as a replacement for an exhaust hanger because that's.
Oh, that works though. Haters gonna hate.
It didn't though. Every single thing under that car was rusted. I think she bought it from Pennsylvania for like $17 in a 12-pack.
What's wild is that was like bought probably in Pennsylvania, but ended out here. But it was built in Numi, so it was like right. It was built right down the road.
Well,
But
it
did
this is when I lived in
traverse the
Georgia,
country.
so it went.
Oh,
there,
okay.
There,
Got it.
and
Got
then
it.
it probably died in Georgia. I
Many
doubt.
things die in Georgia. Mm-hmm. I think Ray Charles died in Georgia. Yeah, I don't know of any other. I mean, there's a lot of good names. Corvette, sneaky
Yeah,
good.
Chevette too. I feel like
Yeah,
that's
Basically,
not great.
like
But Chevy's does a good job. Overall.
Domestic cars kind of
Corvair
just killed
is
it
a
for a
good
long
one.
time.
That's-
Yeah,
yeah.
Corvair is great with the Comment down below what your favorite car name of all time is, because I'm sure we have a whole bunch of different ones that we're not thinking of
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, and you just can't use the Mangusta because Dead Robert is rolling in his grave.
They have one for sale
Pantera's
soon.
pretty good.
Yeah, they probably.
Pantera.
Well, he's dead, so he doesn't have one anymore.
Right.
But Derek
Oh,
probably has one
Derek
for sale.
and Taz.
Yeah, Derek and Taz probably have one. But
May he rest in peace.
yeah,
Rust in
That-
peace.
Rest in peace.
that brings us into today's scenario. So for those who have been following along in the podcast, know that Sean's mini motor exploded on a rally.
Ruh-roh.
Like a year and a half ago, right?
Yeah, a year and a half ago. Since then, it's been in a shop in Sonoma without an engine. And the engine has been purchased and has been shipping for about a year and a half. Sean has gotten information from the person who purchased the motor for him that it crashed into a bridge on its way to.
Well, it was in Maryland, right?
How's the driver?
I think it
Is
was on the
driver
East
okay?
Coast. It crashed into the bridge. The bridge collapsed, and the motor went with it.
Wait, so it was on the ship that hit the bridge in Maryland?
That's what Sean. Sean told me that, and so after that, it was recovered, brought to the south, has been on its way through South America trying to
through
get over the
Honduras,
border.
right?
Yeah, went through Honduras, and now it's on its way to California and is trying to get over the border. Unfortunately, it was harboring drugs in its intake manifold, and now it's in customs. So
Was it actually full of like prison quality Mexican black tar heroin? And now
that's what Shaun's saying, and I trust Shaun with all my heart, so I figure it's probably there. But the plot twist for this scenario is you're the reason why Shaun's mini motor hasn't gotten him.
That's why I'm able to afford.
You're the reason why it's crashed into the boat and sunk, and you're the reason why it's now on its way trying to get over the border. So you need to tell us what car you are using to get this mini motor through South America and over the border without getting arrested, while also harboring drugs, because you are trying to make a little bit of extra dough on the side.
Well, you gotta.
Because Shaun's
Gotta
not
make
paying
one
you.
at a time.
Shaun's
Yeah.
not paying you any premium because it's taking too long at this point.
Right,
so
and
you-
it's my fault. So why would he pay me?
yeah.
Yeah.
So what car are you taking through the entirety of South America, over the border and into the East Bay of San Francisco, without getting arrested, without getting murdered, and with keeping the motor in one piece?
So my first thought is like an original G wagon, like a
Ooh.
full Geländewagen, because then you're paying
300
green.
GD.
Yep. So it'll always work. It's not gonna be fast, but it's gonna go over anything.
That's 603. It's the same car. It's the same motor as my car.
Yeah. So it'll just always work.
617
It just-
617 is a 240, right?
617 is the 300 W123.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the OM.
603 is probably. Do they have 617
motor?
G wagons? That'd be crazy.
I don't know.
120 horsepower.
They do. I know they do a 240 GD. I drove one.
Oh, Jesus.
I've seen one. Yeah, I saw it on
They're
Marketplace.
they're roughly 65 horsepower in a G wagon.
Next level.
I looked it up.
But it'll always work.
Top speed is 72 miles an hour. 0 to 60 in 36 seconds.
So it's like a caveman.
36 seconds.
Yes.
That sounds familiar.
Yes.
That sounds like my car.
Yes, but slower.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's
But it'd be,
that's a good call out. That is a good call out.
I
formidable.
really thought about this one. I guess one I was like pretty.
So it's funny because when I thought about it, I took a different approach.
Okay.
So you took the goes anywhere, won't break down, military looking thing. My thought was just like, well, someone's going to be, the federales are going to be looking out for that, right?
yeah.
Or the cartels, or there's a lot of people. They'd be like, look out for the fucking G wagon.
Yeah.
Like I want to fly. I want to go incognito.
Ah,
You know, here's a vehicle that has room for an engine, and 0 people have ever suspected of ever being involved in any crime. Are you familiar with the Buick Rendezvous?
yeah.
It's basically a less, arguably less ugly Pontiac Aztek.
Speaking of good name, no.
Look at that. 0 people have been pulled over in a two-tone. And see, I picture the purple, like the eggplant color. The eggplant over silver two-tone is what I had in my head cannon. Look at that.
What
no,
a good
no
choice.
one has ever gotten a felony in one of those.
Do you know what we never got? Azusa Via Cross.
We got Via Crosses.
I would say I could see that one be a
Via
good
Cross,
option
yeah,
too.
Via Cross would work.
Slightly
for sure.
a little bit more ostentatious than this.
A little bit,
Than this.
but it's like very similar, like era.
Same, vibe. The Rendezvous.
The Buick.
Do any of these still
Rendevious.
exist, or have they all?
There's a
have they all
few.
returned to the earth?
There's a few, and those were all I
They're
think
getting
3
close.
4s or 3 6s.
Wait, they sold them in Europe?
yeah, no, these are all Euro plates.
Oh man, imagine having that in Europe today.
Look at this. Like this was a choice. Like
That's a yeah.
Is that an LSU like sticker too? How traveled are they? Shreveport, yeah.
Okay,
As
so-
an LSU staff member with Euro plates, what is happening?
So he just loved this car so much that he brought it with him when he retired or something.
yeah,
that's crazy actually.
Look at that.
Whoop.
Yeah, I'm going Buick
What a good choice.
Rendevious.
That is an insane choice. I never thought
CX trim
I would-
level, maybe CXL if I want to like.
You
go
definitely
real fancy.
you blended perfectly with this car. You would get through the border perfectly.
Oh
fine.
yeah.
The Rendezvous is a bad we need a success for Buick given the decline in its aging customer base.
Yeah, it's all about like you have to like try and I like this was their answer to be like, oh, but dude, our entire customer base is dying because
Yep.
they're older than the
Than
earth
dirt.
itself.
Yeah.
I know this will get the kids
Yep.
buying Buick.
And also
It's
how it
this.
has an acceptable safety rating. It's like one you just scrolled past it under safety. This has overall acceptable rating.
It's a thing. In italicized.
Yeah, like you could die, but you probably won't typically in
Yeah.
most
You'll be
situations.
seriously injured, just not killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the concept of traumatic brain injury? Yes, that's what it'd be. But a whole sheet of plywood.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe with Sean's motor full of,
Meth.
I was going to say
Not meth, more heroin.
cocaine.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking
real.
that,
That's
yeah.
where real money's at.
Cocaine.
Yeah, that's where the real. Yeah, I mean, you need to make a little bit of money on the side.
I looked up once on how to grow my own cocaine. Turns out you have to be like over 10,000 feet. That's why it's all in the mountains of Colombia.
Oh,
I know. I was
Well,
bummed.
that's a fun fact. That's the consumer advice for
Yeah,
this
that's this week's
podcast
consumer
episode.
advice.
If you're at
Exactly.
10,000 feet, you have a profit margin
Yep.
on
Go.
your hills. If you're
Go to
not
Mount
10,000 feet,
Yep.
move to 10,000 feet.
That's right.
See,
Yeah.
my
How
one
about you,
thing
Joe?
about-
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Well, before Robert died, he told me to say Volvo V70R.
Wow, that's his answer.
That's what he'd be taking through Mexico.
Fair. But if something breaks, are there a lot of Volvo V70R parts in South America at large?
Probably not. He didn't think that far through.
You just think about duct tape and dreams.
would have thought about that before he died.
That's true.
I don't think
Yeah.
there's too many vintage Mercedes parts
Maybe that's
from
why he
either,
died.
though.
Yeah, but like a lot of it, diesel, some 123 parts, you can make it
true.
work.
You can make
this is GM,
the powertrain
basic
stuff.
bitch GM stuff. Like,
Yeah, no,
it
you're
would work.
chilling.
Yeah, in luxury, got AC,
Yeah.
leather.
AC.
I want to go
Acceptable
basic
crash
here,
rating.
and I feel like just getting like a really clapped W124 300D or the NA
240D.
version, the 2.5 turbo diesel,
Mm-hmm.
with like the cool badge on the back. That's just 2.5 turbo diesel instead of just 300D. That's like destroyed, like a nuclear bomb hit it. You know, like everything is gone, the interior is missing. It smells
good.
like
Not
someone's
bad.
dying inside. I could, without the interior, I could put the motor in the back. It's on its side. Doesn't matter if it's leaking oil everywhere.
Yep.
And
Doesn't
just
matter.
drive, and it will,
Well, it
I
won't
can,
be leaking oil; it'll just be leaking like
and if I run out of
incredible
fuel,
amounts of drugs.
I can just go into a convenience store or something and steal some vegetable oil, and just throw it in
Kerosene,
the
yeah.
tank and just keep going.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
Some perfume.
Yeah.
Or no, that's the turbine.
Yeah.
Turbine.
But that'd be like a Series 1 or Series 2, like early Land Rover
Yep.
with the like a
That was my
four-cylinder
other guess.
four-cylinder that was like 6.5 to 1 compression, so you can just run it on like anything
Anything
remotely
flammable.
combustible. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about
Yep.
these older cars. Is like you can put anything in them and they just for some
I
reason turn
picture
on.
Doc from Back to the Future dumping random shit and banana peels into the Mr. Fusion.
Yep.
Similar vibe.
But one nice thing about the G-Wagon is it'd be perfect car to deal drugs in once you're back in the Bay Area.
It's true.
Yeah, it
It
fits
would.
for both.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Once
chrome
the moment
wrap
you
it when
cross
you
the
get
border
home.
in the 124, you're getting arrested probably. Yeah, so that's a good point. And maybe the Buick would probably skirt by a little bit,
Right.
and then
Buick,
if you
baby.
moment you get to Hayward,
See,
people start wondering.
the G-Wagon, you just go to Beverly Hills, you'll blend in great, sell all of your shit
you can still
there.
get into the G-Wagon, just kind of a little more smelly. That's it.
Yeah.
Check it out. So the designer was a one Elizabeth Wetzel. You guys should get her on the pod. You should talk to the designer of the interior of the Buick Rendezvous.
VJ is our resident design
expert.
enthusiast. We'll have him
Yes.
reach out when he gets back from India.
Perfect.
I'm sure she'll come. And
Oh, it was made in Mexico, so you're
Yeah,
perfect.
so
at that.
you're
You
perfectly,
see?
you're perfectly
Bang.
blended in.
I am in it to win it.
But
give me them drug motor.
Related Pontiac Aztec.
Give me that drug motor, baby.
yeah, but these are all great. These are all great, solutions to Sean's problem. And when Sean gets back next week, we'll talk to him about it.
That's right. I got Versatrack. I got it figured out.
Yeah, but guys, comment down below what car you be taking Sean's motor in. The only stipulation is you got to get through the border. So
Everything's bigger in Montana. You remember those commercials for the Pontiac Montana?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I may have been too young.
It was about the interior, how big, and it was the whole like catchline.
I don't know about
Everything's
Pontiac.
bigger
That's 404
in
not
Montana.
found. I can't think of that thing.
It was a minivan. It was a replacement to the Pontiac Transport.
Ah.
So it was platform shared with, I believe, the Chevrolet Uplander, and there was a Buick version as
yeah.
well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I do
Yeah, there was a
remember
Buick
these.
version. God, what was the Buick version called? They
Beautiful.
sold like 4 of them.
This is a great photo. Oh, never mind.
And there's not one left in the state of California because they don't have.
These used to be all over the place too. They used to be. They used to be
When's the
pretty
last time you've
comfortable.
seen a Pontiac Montana?
No, I mean they used to be way more popular though, right?
Oh, what's
I mean,
what's
like,
the special? Is it Ranger? What's that special
Ooh.
edition?
Yeah,
Or is it
Ranger.
Danger? If that's a Danger edition Pontiac Montana,
There'll be one in
Thunder?
your driveway.
Thunder?
Thunder.
It's like a Saab Vigan, the Thunder.
Oh, Thunder. Yes,
Right, the Vigan.
minivan.
Yeah, because it's lightning blue for the Saab.
Oh, no.
is that an acceptable rating?
This is probably
That's the second gen.
This is the one I would buy. I get the beige one.
Right.
The JR
and blend
Digital.
in with the crowd.
Beige on beige on beige.
But anyway, comment down below what car you be taking to harbor
Montana talk.
Shaun's 4-cylinder Fury and some illicit drugs. Anything else, gentlemen, before we close out on this gracious and amazing podcast?
No, I'm
great
I'm
time.
happy to be here. Yeah, this is I've been here a few times, and it's always good to talk shop. Robert, do you have any closing thoughts? Wow, beautiful.
Thank you.
That was stunning. I feel enriched for having listened to that.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Robert, rest in peace. We'll miss him. You might see him in a few days at Solano if he gets resurrected. But
GoFundMe description for funeral costs.
GoFundMe.
Right.
Yeah. Everything else, we're sorry for the OTS brand.
There you go. Yeah.
And on that bombshell, unfortunate news, we're going to close it. See you on the next episode.
I'm going to pour this beer out for him.
Take care.
Salud.